Very good morning and cordial welcome to one and all for today's webinar on effective habits to cultivate for better career, organized by Department of Biotechnology under the banner of Transgenic Club, Kelly Societies S. Nislingappa College, Bengaluru. I'm Dr. Pratibha KS, Head Department of Biotechnology. It gives me great and immense pleasure to welcome you all to this webinar. Any occasion needs the divine blessings of the Lord Almighty. Let us seek the divine grace of Lord. Sahana Ovatu, Sahano Bunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu, Ma Vidvi Shavahai, Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Meaning of this sloka, let us be together, let us eat together, let us produce energy together, let us there be no limit to our energies, let us there be no ill feeling among us. Om, peace, peace, peace. Today this webinar has been organized in order to implement more effective habits for better career. I'm very proud to introduce today's most engaged and enthusiastic invited speaker, Mr. Abhay S. Kottur, student of 3rd BSc PCM, studying in KLE Societies S. Nijlingappa College. He likes to do
Hello.
volunteering and has strong desire to bring effective changes in the community for a better future. Right now, he is an Intershala student partner. With this brief introduction, I present before you our student, Mr. Abhay S. Kottur, to take over today's webinar session.
Thank you, ma'am, for this wonderful opportunity. I couldn't thank you more. And thank you for the Biotechnology Department and the Transgenic Club for giving me an opportunity to conduct this webinar. Without any further ado, let's begin this session. The webinar is about effective habits to cultivate for a better future. And let me introduce myself again. I am Abhay of 3rd year BSc PCM, and I am very glad to be given this opportunity to teach you all. Without further ado, again, let's begin. So, for the contents of this webinar, I'll be talking about only three things. The three things are proactivity, begin with the end in mind, and about Internshala. Let me tell you a story before I start this webinar. The story has three kids, three very young children who study together before the exams. What they do in those study sessions is they innovate, they talk to each other, they come up with creative solutions. That's what happens. So what happens is one of the kid, he goes and he moves to another state. So what happens is when he moves to another state, the other two guys they are very badly affected by this. The aftermath is worse. So what happens is the two kids, one of them is really depressed and he can't deal with it. So he gives up on his exam, his studies, and he tanks it. He fails it, I mean. So what happens? The other kid who is also affected by this, he comes up with an innovative solution. He thinks that why not why not, just for an instant, let's just think and imagine that my friend, the one who left, even he is also here. Let's think all of the creative solutions that we would come up with and do it like we always did. And the study the study approach he took was more effective, and he ranked first in his class. So he was not only merely taking the initiative, not only handling his responsibilities, he was more than that. So that's what the first topic, proactivity, means. Okay, so the first and the most effective habit is proactive. Always be proactive. What does it mean? It means more than merely taking an initiative. It means, as a human, responsible for our own lives, our own behavior. It is a result of our decisions, not our conditions. We have a responsibility and the initiative to make things happen. So that's what being proactive means. So, as you know, those two kids who were affected by that aftermath, one of the kid was too reactive, meaning his attitude was like, the weather is dull today. I'm not going to study. Someone left me. I'm not going to be able to handle this. As a proactive person would say, you would be like an innovative approach, a creative idea. All these things are a sign of a proactive person, and you can be one too. Let's move on. So, how can you not just be a response to a stimuli? And how can you be proactive? So, one person is a response to stimuli. He has the freedom to choose and he reacts to his conditions. This other person, he has the freedom to choose as well. What he does is he uses his four most human unique gifts. Those are self-awareness. He accepts that his friend is gone, and then he imagines he has the consciousness to develop his own ideas, and with his independent will, he chooses the way he has to react. And his response was so innovative that he got a first place. So now we know that there are two types of people who are reactive, and the other kind is people who are proactive. So there are some reasons that a reactive person would give, like, it's just the way I am. He or she makes me so mad, I can't do this, or they won't allow that, or I can't, and I must. All these reasons are a basic excuse. Most of the time they are an excuse, other time you have to do that. So that's just the way it is. But a proactive person, he has to come up with a unique idea to challenge these situations. So how does he deal with them? A proactive person would tell, I can choose a different approach instead of it's just the way I am. He can control his own feelings. I can create an effective presentation. If they don't allow that, I can twist it in some sort of way they can understand it. I can make them more understandable. Next thing is, you can say, if someone says, I can't, why not just say, I choose? Because I can't is an obligation. I choose as volunteering. So volunteering makes more sense. It's more effective. It makes you more motivated to do a job. And I must, you can say I prefer. Because prefer is more classy, it's more innovative, it's more creative, and it makes you more likable. All of these things, all of these answers are from a proactive person. As a person, if you choose to be proactive, then it's just so good that you can be in control of things, your own life, and the surroundings around you. So the next thing is how to be a proactive person. Create test. How can you do it? It's just simple. You just need to change a few things. The few things are, let me tell you, you have to use be instead of have. How can you do that? In your day-to-day language, as you use, just don't use the word have, because there are a few things that will change it. So if you say, if I had my degree, if only I had my degree, I could have done that. I don't have a degree, so I can't do that. Those are just the reasons that we create for ourselves. If COVID-19 hadn't happened, if I had the time, if I had the right DNA. So all these are just nagging. These are just excuses that we make up for ourselves to get rid of all these situations. But if you ask me, if there is a problem, you shouldn't run away from it. You should accept the problem and you should solve it as a creative person. A great man once said, you can't solve any problem without accepting it exists first. Such a great statement that I complete with it 100%. And it is the most effective change you can ever bring into your life. So, how can you challenge these have situations? Let me tell you, you just got to be. So, what kind of be do you want to be? So, the first thing is you have to be patient, yeah, and you can be prepared. Doesn't this sound more interesting than if I had my degree? You can just say, I will be more patient and more prepared of the path ahead of me. If you say that coronavirus is happening, I can't do anything, you can try and you can choose to say, coronavirus is happening and I could be developing some new skill to sharpen them, or be creative, something like that, something creative that makes you more interesting, more motivated. If you say, if I only had the time, I don't have enough time, then you need to start being more prioritizing. You need to figure out what are the things that matter most to you, what are the things that are more beneficial to you. So those are the things that you need to change. And if you say, I had the right DNA, that is something you cannot change. But if I may be able to work on my weaknesses and strengthen them, wouldn't that be more than changing your own DNA? That's just being in control of yourself. That is the most important thing that you can do right now. So, what's the next topic? Okay, begin with the end in mind. What does this mean? It means that you need to have a goal. Without a goal, you're just a nomad or a gypsy person walking around without any destination in your mind. Okay, so let me give you a story or an example. You are sitting in a home, in your own home, and you are very, very bored. So you analyze that you are bored. And what you think is, I am bored, I need to do something fun. I want to enjoy. So, what is your decision? You think of going to a theme park or a fun club or a go-karting or something like that. You go to have fun. So what happens is, when you decide that you need to have fun and you need to go out, immediately a destination pops up in your mind, and that destination is your goal. So once you've set the goal, all you need to do is determine your path. You can just think of a way or a direction. You can ask the people who are going to that destination to guide you, or you can create your own path, which a proactive person would definitely go for. So, with all of these in mind, how to begin with the end in mind? Okay, so basically, it's about setting goals and how to decide your future right now. So, how do you do that? Now, I'll show you some illustrations. Hope you can understand them. All right. So there are three images. The first person is happy. He's thinking of all the achievements he has done or he wants to achieve in his life. So without the sense of achievement, without the sense of that reward that you seek, you can't be motivated enough to go on your own path. The next thing is, you see the image of a finish line and the word start written behind it. What does this mean now? So it's always only when you have a destination set in your mind, you can go where you want to be. That's simple. And then there's the last girl who is writing something. She says the end in mind. And she's thinking about her goal. Maybe she wants to score good. So what she is doing is preparing for her exams. So it's just simple when you think about it. Hmm. So let's go to the next slide. I'll be showing you a few images and let's make some sense of them. So the first image is a person who's shooting an arrow. So this arrow, I don't know where it is going. I don't know how hard he's pulling it. I don't know its path. I don't know its destination either. What I know is a man who is wearing some sort of armor. He's wearing a bow and armor. He's also wearing a quill. He's shooting it somewhere, but I don't know where it's going to land. So it's kind of irrelevant to think where his target is, because he has no target. He might be hunting, he might be doing something unuseful, but I don't know it for sure. Okay, let's make some sense of the next image. The next image is of a person who is shooting up the same bow and arrow at a target, at a target basically. So what does this target mean? I can say this person is a archer. Why? Because he has a definite target in his mind, and there is a definite point where he wants to reach to excel in it. So, why is this more efficient? Because he has a goal in his mind. The goal is to reach the center of the target. That is what he wants to achieve, and that's his goal. He has his destination. All he needs to do is aim at it and leave the arrow, and it'll take its own course, and he will reach the target. That is what everyone wants, a goal with a definite path. All you need to do is set a target and work on it. The rest will make path for you on your own. So what do you make sense when you say, I have a target in mind, but I don't know whether if it's the right target for me. I don't know the goal if it's the right thing I want to do in life. So that's the most important thing that you can do. Because once you have a goal set in your mind, you have to think whether it is the right goal or not. So here's a picture of a ladder that's against the wall. You need to be on the right wall of the right wall. Basically, what I want to say is that when you're doing all the hard work to climb up that ladder, you don't want to be on the wrong end of the ladder, wrong end of the wall, because although you have struggled so hard, the end result is not what you want, then what is the use of all the hard work? Doesn't it make sense that we need to choose our own goals, our own destination, and make all the opportunities and our life happen in front of us, knowing that we are in control of things? That's what this picture means, that you need to choose the right goal for yourself. Let's go to the next slide. Next slide is define what success means to you. So, many people say that success is something that means that you are more popular, you have a lot of wealth, you are the richest man on earth. That's what success means to them. But some people, they are like, success is something that when I innovate something, when I invent something, I want to be the person who changes the world. Or some people have a definition of success that means I want to be happy in life. So what I do is I will go and have fun. That's what is success for them. So everyone has their own definition of success. So how can you define what success means to you? What do you want to do in your life? Analyze this thinking on your own and come up with the right things that you want to do. So the most thing I've heard is from people is that they say to me when I ask them, what's your ambition? What do you want to do in life? They say me, I haven't decided any of my goals. I don't know what I'll do. I'll just let things happen on its own way. So what I call it is the I haven't decided my goal yet. What must I do syndrome? So what this question is saying that is that you're a person without no control over your own life. You are sort of just going around with no target in your life. So how can you avoid that? If you want to decide your goals right now in a very short period of time, I will suggest you to take this kind of approach. The approach is called the funeral visualization. The funeral visualization is something a proactive person only could come up with. So, what you need to do is imagine that you are going to your own funeral. When you enter the funeral, you see your own body lying in front of all these people who are crying, they're talking about you, they are discussing all the things that you have done in your life. So, well, how can this help you set your goals? Let me tell you, let us go further, and you will come up with your own goal right now. So, there are three people in this funeral who are waiting to talk, to tell you, to tell the crowd, to address the crowd, to tell them how good of a person you are or how much you meant to them. The three people are, the first one is a family member, the second one is a friend, the third one is a colleague of yours. So what happens is the when the family member walks up to the podium and he starts saying that this guy, the person who's lying dead in front of you, he was the best brother. He was the best father I could have ever had. He was so good with the family that even I couldn't have been in that such a way. He was so kind. So what this tells you is that this person or you are a good person to your family. So that is a goal that you need to decide right now. Will you be good to your family or you will ignore them or you will misinterpret them all the time and get into fights? So this speech, what you write for yourself during the funeral visualization will tell you how a family person, what kind of a family person do you want to be. The next person who walks into the funeral is your friend. So, so you think that what your friend could tell you on your funeral. So and then he says that his social circle was so good that even I couldn't have managed all these kind of friends. He was so helpful, he was so kind. I couldn't have done any of these. And the relationships he had developed with all of his friends and classmates and everybody was so good that there couldn't be any other person who could be better than him. That's what the friend says. The third thing is, the third person who comes up to the podium is your colleague from your job. So this person, he comes up, he talks to you about your achievements, he talks to you about the things you have done in your life, achieved in your life, the way you managed his whole team, the way you led them, how you showed leadership in times of trouble, all those things he talks about. And with this, you understand how good of your achievements are. And when you write all the speeches for your a family person, for a family related person who comes up to the stage and speaks about you during your funeral, when you write a speech for them, you will understand your own goals. What do you want to do in your life? So that is what the funeral visualization does. It helps you quickly and more precisely identify your goals in a very smart way. So if you have the time, go ahead, do it immediately. Let this help you. Let you decide your own career, your own job, your own achievements with all of these things in your mind. Let's go to the next slide. Okay. Here's where we come to the next stage or the next topic of our webinar. It's called Internshala. Recently, I've been made the Internshala student partner, and my job, or as you like to say it, my work is to bring awareness about Internshala in our college. So, what is it that I need to do? The thing is, I just need to bring awareness by saying that what is Internshala basically? Internshala is a platform where you can get internships. Okay, you don't know what an internship means. Internship is a program, it's a temporary program where you are put in a company to work for them. You will be trained in many sorts of different ways. You'll be given different sorts of jobs in the company, and you will also be paid. So, why do an internship? Let me give you an example. Recently, last year, there was a job opening in Chennai, I guess, for a sanitary job. And for that job, I saw nearly 30,000 engineers who applied for a sanitation job. It's shocking, isn't it? Because once you go for a job interview, the first thing they're going to ask is, how can you be more efficient to us? Do you have any work experience? And it turns out that you are a fresher. So, what can a fresher do to show some experience. How is it possible to show experience when you have just got up to college? So this internship program is very innovative, because you can perform in jobs right when you are in college. So what they do is they take you during the college time itself. You can work with them when you're in the college, and you will also get paid. What does this help you in, you ask? Means I can tell you that the thing that it helps you is it trains you, it gives you more experience, and they will also pay you, which you can use it as your pocket money, and they will give you a certificate saying that you have been a wonderful student who have been trained here with them hand in hand. You got experience in all these fields right now after working with them. So that is what an internship is. So let's come to the third thing I want to talk about, internshala. So if you don't get an internship, because this is a platform that offers a lot of internships and a lot of people apply for them. So if you don't get an internship, just be more patient and increase your skills. So what I mean by skills is, like, there are programs like trainings for Python, digital marketing, SEO, CEOs, all those things. They will teach you from Internshala. They will give you a certificate, and they will also give you a placement opportunity, so that when you are done with the training course, you can be able to stand up for yourself, and they are creating an opportunity for you in this situation. So that is a good thing, isn't it? So that's all, I guess, for today's webinar, and I think I'll open the webinar for Q&A. Okay, thank you guys, thank you all for this opportunity. Thank you for the Transgenic Club and the Biotechnology Department of our college. Thank you all. Now the session is open for Q&A. Also contact me on these websites, where like this workmail or my contact number. I can help you with all of these as soon as possible. Okay. So I've got a new question right now, and it's from Pratibha, Dr. Pratibha ma'am itself. So what she is asking me is that the students, they are shook by this pandemic lockdown situation. They are not grounded properly. Uh, the mindset is not stable right now. The things change so fast that everyone had to shift to online classes. The online materials is sometimes very difficult to understand. And the another question she also asked was that how to get the students in a right mind, how to make them motivated, or how can you get the students to adjust to this new normal. So the answer is very simple. It's just be proactive. Hmm. What do I mean by that? Is simple, because a reactive person would simply say that the first thing in mind is that when coronavirus hit, the first thing he would say is, "Oh my God, we are dead. There's nothing we can do about it. Just need to stay at home, flatten the curve, and hope we don't die of coronavirus." That's all a reactive person would say. Whereas a proactive person would analyze the situation. He would see what's going on around the world. He would accept the fact that this is the new reality, and he will think of the future as to what he can be doing during this time. So, what can he or she be doing right now? They can improve upon their skills. They can develop new skills. They can do many things. They can learn a new instrument. They can prepare for their exams when they happen. So all of these things are the things a proactive person can be doing, and he will definitely think of these and implement them. So as to the second part of your question, I would just like to say that is a reactive person would make up reasons. in the sense reasons, I mean, there are some people who are not interested in learning online. So those people need to be motivated more clearly be to understand the situation around us and to accept it. And by accepting this situation, they will understand that this is the only hope right now, online classes for us. And there is no other way. So if that is your only source of college classes and all those other things, then it is the only solution that you have to go to. You have to be proactive. Thank you, ma'am, for this wonderful question. I was kind of expecting such question. Okay, here we have another question by a student. She says that she has an intern shala training certificate. She doesn't know if its weight on your resume. So for you, I'm glad that you asked the question. The answer is that definitely all the trainings from intern shala carry a lot of weightage on your resume. It will help you in a lot of career opportunities. And yeah, that's it, I guess. I mean, if you have a degree, an extra skill, and you apply it to the right job, the job you wanted it, and they prefer it as an extra skill, then I don't think why it should not help you. It will definitely help you. Go ahead with it. Thank you all. Thank you for this opportunity. It has been a wonderful session. Hope I do this again. That's all. Thank you. See you again.